What's up guys, and welcome back to Tech Plant. Today I'm going to be doing a review / unboxing on a new light that I'm going to test out in my grow space. And full disclosure, this light was sent to me for free to review and test out and kind of give my opinion about, so I have to tell you that, I think because of terms of service or whatever. But anyways, let's get into it and let's check out this Spider Farmer light. Alright guys, so let's open up this box and have a look-see on what's inside. Right off the bat, you can see that it has a decent power cord and some hanging stuff, and then this is the light. It looks pretty nice. Alright, so for the first impressions, it does feel quite nice and sturdy and solidly built. It's actually quite heavy compared to some of my other lights. This one is a little bigger, so that could be why, but it also could be that they use like thicker sheet metal to construct the body, which is a good sign. The reflectors that are going to kind of aim the LED light straight down are actually pretty darn shiny. Most of the time lights are kind of have this, like, I don't know how to explain it, but these are almost like mirror finish, so I think it should do a pretty good job of reflecting the LED light that's emitted straight down and not just out and everywhere. The LED reflector and LEDs are actually protected by like a sheet of what appears to be like plexiglass, so that's pretty nice. It's like the little things that add up to make like a really nice light. This light does actually have 90 LEDs in it. You can kind of see it's split into almost like 3 components, each holding 30 LEDs, and it has a pretty good mixture of like the red, blue, and white lights actually, so I think it'll do pretty well. Alright, so I'm gonna flip the light over and show you the backside, and here you can see 2 knobs. These are exciting for me and I will tell you why in a few seconds, but first let me just tell you a quick few things about this light. As you can see, it has 2 fans, it has a power input, and then it has your 4 like hanging spots. In every grow light, where I think they always fail when the manufacturers can do a huge improvement, is buying nicer fans. I'm sure these fans are fine and everything, but I swear for like another 10 bucks I'd be willing to buy one with like much quieter, like nicely manufactured fans. But I guess that's something that you can replace in the future. I might actually look into doing that. If you think that'd be an interesting video on how to replace fans on a grow light, let me know in the comments and I'll actually give it a shot and see if I can do it to make it quieter. But anyways, back to the light. You can see it from this corner piece. This is usually where you can see how good their manufacturing is, and you can see that the metal is butted up against each other nice and tight. There aren't big wavy gaps, so this thing is constructed pretty nice. Now on to the most important part and why I wanted this light, and I'm glad that they sent it to me, is these dimmable switches. So most lights have like a vegetative, I don't know if that's word, a veg and bloom switch. So one is just to get your plant to grow, and then you would switch to the other style lighting that's more in tune to making your plants flower and fruit, and it's always just on or off or both on, and I don't really like how exact that is, and I don't like having lights that are either 0 watts or 200 watts out of the wall. Like there's no in between. Where this one, you can actually dim everything, which is really awesome. So this allows you to actually change how much wattage you're basically pulling from the wall and how much output you're outputting worth of light. And with the dimmable switches, you can really choose your exact mixture, because you might find certain plants need different mixtures. I'm really hyped and excited for this because a lot of times I might not have my grow box at full capacity and I don't need all like 200 real watts out of this light. It's just too much for what I'm growing. So this one's finally going to allow me to adjust to what I'm actually growing. I can dim them a little more, use less electricity, but still get what I want. Or I can mix the lights to get the perfect type of light that I want for the stage that the plant's in. And I'm really excited to be able to experiment with this, and it's something I haven't seen in any of the grow lights I have or have looked at, because it's mostly just on and off switches, which are fine, but I just like the fine-tuned control that this one's going to give me. Something that actually surprised me, and which you will see illustrated further on in the video, is that these dim switches actually do a good job of giving you actual variation. A lot of times these manufacturers are cheap and they put these dim switches on, but really they're just like 1 or 2 clicks of actual change. But in this one, I can't quite tell if it's stepping up the brightness or if it actually is going with the rotation, but either way, it seems almost like 6 or 7 stages of brightness, which is really awesome because you really can have like variable light. You can really truly choose how bright you want it, and you'll see in the next clip here that they go pretty darn dim and they go pretty darn bright. So this is already looking like a pretty good light. So yeah, I'm just gonna kind of cycle through it. I just showed you the blue stuff, but now I'm gonna show you the red lights. As you can also see, as they both get put on, this light is extremely bright. The only issue is with filming these reviews on lights is the camera will never show you really how bright it is to the human eye, because I'm actually changing the camera settings to like handle like basically the sun. So The reason you can see the lights a lot more clearly than you could in real life is because I'm really operating the camera in a specific way to just show you the actual colors more than just how bright it really is. Alright, here it is again now at full blast, and it is pulling 208 watts from the wall. So this is a pretty powerful light, at least from what I normally use, because mine are from like 30 watts to about, maybe 120 watts that I have now. So this is quite a beefier light. Once it's at all red max, it's only 70 watts. So you can see that there's more focus on the blue, the purple all spectrum lights, because when I have blue full blast, it's about 139. So you can kind of mix and match your stuff to get a mix that you want and a wattage you want to achieve. I did this second this second thing with the lights off just so you can see more of the color. And again, the dimmable switches are just something I really love on this light because I get to choose the perfect mix and I can find the perfect mix. Right now I'm only using about 150 watts and I think that's enough for my current grow. But if my plants start getting bigger and I need more penetration, I can just turn it up and get the light in the places I need it to be. So that's what I really love about this light, is I can actually control how much light I'm using without having to have like 3 or 4 different physical lights. Alright, so I don't know if you've seen any of my previous grow light reviews, but I like to just pick the light up from the surface of a flat object and just kind of show you the light pattern and how it falls. This first pickup or whatever is going to be with just the blue lights at full power. And then as you'll see in the second one, it's the red lights at full power. So you can also kind of compare the brightness in this video by seeing kind of like what it looks like. And I believe the blue ones are quite a bit brighter because it is using almost twice the amount of wattage, so it should be. Alright, now next I actually changed the camera settings just so you can get a little better idea again of how the light pattern looks. Maybe you can't tell the difference, but I think this might help a little bit. Again, first is going to be our blue, next we're going to have our red, and finally I think we're going to have it full power, which is why you can see more of a purple color. Here they all are side by side, so you can kind of see the brightness. Here you can actually compare the brightnesses to each other, and that can give you an idea of how bright each setting is. Alright, now here is one of my older lights. This one is only 100 true watts, so it's half of the one that I'm reviewing right now. But I just want to give you an idea of like how different this is compared to a 100-watt light in case you actually have one. So you can get an idea of, do you need to upgrade? Should you buy a bigger light or whatever? So this will kind of give you an idea how that looks. Alright, so now that we see the pattern, I'm actually going to try each one of those lights in my actual grow box. Alright, so here's one of the lights that I was using and I'm going to replace, but I just want to give you an idea of like where I'm coming from. So here it is, and it's at full power again, because this one you can't switch half or full on, so it's just always on full power. Alright, and here is the new light. It's installed at about the same height, and this one just has all red on. It looks a little less bright, but that's because it's using a heck of a lot less watts. Alright, and here's the light with just all the blue ones on, which you can see is quite a bit brighter, but again, this one does have more of a purple blue full spectrum kind of setup, so that's why the blue is more powerful. And then this setup is going to be with everything on, and you can see it's pretty darn bright. And then here are the old and the new lights side by side. Again, this isn't a comparison of the lights as far as which one should you rather get. It's just me giving you references of different wattages and different setups. Alright, this last scene then is me trying to emulate how it looks to my eye. So I stared at the bright lights, probably lost 10 years of vision, but I did that just so you can kind of see in camera about what it looks like in real life, so you can get an idea of how bright it is. But again, the camera is really hard to really truly show you how bright this light is. Alright guys, that pretty much wraps up this video. I hope you enjoyed it. This was one of the first product reviews I think of 2019 that I've done. I haven't really done much about that, but I thought it was interesting, and I really like the dimmable switches on this thing. It really allows me to kind of choose the wattage that I want to use, which I think is important because usually my lights are always at a static on or off. This allows me to do a little less or a little more depending on where my plants are in their life cycle. So again, thanks to Spider Farmer for sending me this light. I really appreciate it. I'm going to test it out in this grow box and see how well it does. I think it's going to do quite well, so I'm excited for that. If you guys want to see more product reviews, let me know. If you guys want me to review something specific, just tell me in the comments. I might pick it up just to try it out. I'm always interested in new like indoor gardening technology. Again, if you want to see more of these, hit that subscribe button, hit the like if you like this kind of video. As always, may your plants grow strong and healthy. I'll see you next time.